Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, I am going to share a couple steps to help you on your manifesting journey. And this is stuff that you can actively do in order to open up yourself to the manifesting game, because it is so fun once you do this, because now you know each step that you have to take to continue on this journey. And you never really fall off the journey. You just end up, maybe manifesting things that you really didn't want to happen, or maybe other things start to come in and you're like, wait, that's not what I asked for. These steps are going to help you narrow it down and really get specific and tell the universe, this is what I want. Okay, so I like to call it dancing with the universe. So these are my steps on how to dance with the universe. Step one is becoming aware of your connection. So most people do this through meditation, through some sort of mindfulness practice. It could be a walk, it could be a long bath. It is tapping into your connection to God, to the universe, your angels, your guides, whatever you like to call it. And if you've never been taught how to do this, I would highly recommend finding something that you can do alone. It doesn't involve an electronic or anything that's going to distract you from being with your own thoughts. So it is a stillness practice. You're practicing being still in some way. For me, believe it or not, it's not really stillness, but it kind of is. I love to drive. I'll go for a morning drive almost, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, depending on the morning and what I have scheduled. But I kind of like dissociate and I zone out on my drives and I just listen to music, but I'm really listening to my thoughts. I'm listening to the ideas that I get. I'm listening to what kind of like comes up on the radio. What song is talking to me? How is the universe speaking to me? So I'm becoming aware that there is some sort of connection with me and this higher power. And you really have to strengthen it. And I have to say, I've gotten better personally. I just share my experiences here because it's my channel, and I have my clients' experiences too, but these are like most intimate for me. So if you're on my channel, that means you're somewhat spiritually awakened. You're aware of the universe. You're aware of how it works through you and around you. And maybe you're not. Maybe you are new to this journey and you found this video and the universe wants to show you you're always where you're meant to be. So you found my channel because the universe knew that you would learn from my teachings, and my teachings would hit your heart and it would stick and you would actually do something with it. Okay. So when I first started becoming aware of this higher intelligence, I was kind of resistant to the word God my whole life. I grew up Catholic. I just didn't know what to believe. I just kind of didn't believe in anything until my 30s. So for 30 years, your girl was walking through this life not believing in anything. And then my daughter passed away. And then I had to believe in something because I was just like, where did she go? I'm angry. I'm pissed. I want her back. And I wanted to understand it all. And I spiritually awakened about 6 or 7 years after she passed. I did a little spiritual awakening when she passed, but then I really awakened and started meditating in, I think, 2017. So I was meditating twice a day for 45 minutes, trying to get a grip on my mind. I always struggled with mental health issues my whole life. I struggled with eating disorders. I struggled with everything because I grew up in such trauma, but I didn't know it was trauma at the time. I just thought it was my normal childhood. I was like, oh, other people have it worse than me. Mine's not that bad. And it was bad. And even if you're somebody who grew up in a house where maybe you were neglected and it didn't seem that bad, like you weren't getting hit or, but you were literally not loved. Nobody sat down and talked to you. Nobody played with you. Everyone just kind of left you to learn things on your own. That is not okay. And that is trauma. So we lose connection to all things when that happens. And when we come back and we meditate, we're connecting back to our soul. It's like we're being retethered again. And we're like, okay, I'm home. I feel good in my body because I understand my thoughts. I understand my feelings now. I feel more connected to me. And that's the most important piece of all of this manifesting journey, is really connecting to ourselves and how we're feeling in each moment. Because if we can be aware in each moment of how we are feeling, we can modify our day. We can adjust and shift, and we can get back on that dance floor, not just to manifest, but just to have a happy life. And that is tuning into what you're feeling in each moment, which is meditation. When you meditate, you are listening. You are hearing, you're feeling what your body is feeling. You're allowing the thoughts to come and to go, especially the negative ones, the not so nice ones. You're realizing that's not my soul talking to me. There's this other voice in my head called the ego, and it's going to tell me lies, and it's going to tell me to be scared about something. And the one thing that I've mastered is, as soon as I catch myself, like if I'm in the gym, right? I'm working out, I'm lifting weights, feeling good. And then all of a sudden I catch myself on a loop worrying about money or worrying about my relationships or worrying about whatever. As soon as I catch myself overthinking it and trying to figure it out, I'm like, Michelle, you're an ego. Stop thinking about it. You can't change it right now. A solution will come when the time is right. You don't need to think the solution to happen. Does that make sense? You don't need to like obsess about it in order for it to occur. And that's masculine energy. Masculine energy is inside all of us. And when we're too much in our masculine energy, we're trying to grip and to control the outcome. Everything in your life will happen for you. Things will just unfold. Your next job will come to you. It'll come through a text through somebody else. It'll come through an email, a suggestion. You might just hop on the computer and find it. You sitting around in the gym lifting, obsessing about it is not going to change it. Okay. But when you can become aware that you're trying to fix it in the moment, you can stop and say, I'm not going to think about this right now. Let me focus on the weights in my hand. Let me get the awesome workout in. Let me look in the mirror and see how great I look. You guys are all looking so fabulous, by the way. You need to honor yourselves more. So look in the mirror, be thankful for your body that you're healthy enough to lift, and forget those thoughts. Let them pass by. So when you're meditating, you are practicing that awareness. You're able to see the thought that pops in that's worried about your finances, your money, how you're going to provide for your family. And you're going to say, nope, I'm not going to think about that right now because my soul has a plan. And I know when the right opportunity comes, I will see it and it won't pass me by and I will take it. But me in the gym right now working out, I'm not going to let that bother my workout or my day. So let the thought go by. Okay. This will change your life because all of the negative thoughts you've been thinking your entire life are from that voice. It's from the ego. And when you can just let it go by, you have now mastered your mental health. You are now in control of your thoughts and your feelings. And in each moment, you're noticing that thought and you're saying, I don't have to worry about it right now. It will get done when it's meant to get done. I trust myself. I trust the universe will make it happen when the time is right. And you kind of have to have that faith that you will get it done because you've always gotten things done before. And if you haven't, it's probably because you weren't on this journey before, but now you are. You're different now. So keep telling yourself that too. When you don't trust yourself, say, I'm different now. I know too much. I can't unlearn this. So this is how you build that connection. And there's a lot of people that are untethered in this world. And a lot of times you can tell who is untethered by their patterns, their habits, how they take care of themselves. Maybe they don't take care of themselves at all. Maybe they're obsessively people pleasing, or maybe they're just constantly looking outside of themselves for happiness. And this is a really important one. They're very, very, very uncomfortable alone by themselves. They don't ever want to be alone. And it's funny because what we fear the most is what we want the most. It's what we desire. So if somebody fears being alone, it's because they're scared because their soul wants them to be alone to connect and be tethered again. So the first step when manifesting is becoming aware of your connection, tethering yourself to your soul, grounding yourself with the universe and listening and feeling into and not listening to the ego, but listening to the soul and how the universe is speaking to you through music, through signs, all of that jazz. Because essentially, if you're looking for signs, you need to be present, which means you need to control the ego. The ego keeps you in the future and in the past. Anytime you're trying to figure anything out, you are not in the present moment. You might miss a sign. And that's when you maybe do see 1111 or 333 because you're out of the present moment and the universe is trying to get you to come back in. Okay, the second step is opening communication. So now we're aware, right? We're meditating, we're walking, we're taking drives, we're taking baths, we're listening, we're seeing signs. We're now awake to this connection. How do we open it up even more? How do we expand it? And what we do is, I always like to tell people, when you have a loved one that's passed away, right? Everyone says, yeah, I talk to my loved one all the time. And I do readings, I do intuitive readings, I'm a psychic medium. And a lot of people will say, yeah, I talk to my grandmother all the time. I talk to my dad. For me, I talk to my daughter. But then I ask them, okay, well, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, what do you guys talk about? And they're like, I don't know. I just talk to them when I'm sad. And I said, well, is that the only time you talk to them, when you need them? And I said, why don't you open up your communication? Same thing with the universe. And the way we do this is we ask for things. They are, just imagine the spirit family in the sky following you around all day long. And they have the ability to go ahead to get you money, to get you parking spots, to get you the best seat in the restaurant, the best tickets to the concert. They have all these ins and outs for you. And they're just up there going, when are they going to talk to us? When are they going to communicate with us? We have the tools, spirits, we can go ahead, we can manipulate life. But these humans are down here not asking us for anything and not using us. So when I say open up your communication, I'm saying ask. If you're going to talk to your loved one and you want to know that they're here with you, maybe you had a grandmother who passed and maybe you call her mom, and maybe cardinals are your thing with her, right? So you could say, mom, can you please bring me 3 cardinals in the most unique way ever in the next 3 days? I am so excited. I can't wait to hear from you. And you're opening up that communication. You're asking her for something. And once you get comfortable, she'll send you the cardinals in the most crazy way. You'll see somebody carrying a keychain with a cardinal on it. It won't be a typical cardinal at your window. It will be unique because that's what you asked for. But when we open up and we ask for these signs, and you can even say, hey, I'm about to make a big decision, Spirit. Could you please show me 2 frogs in a weird way? If you feel like this is aligned for me, and if I feel good when I see these signs, then I'll move forward with it. But I'm going to be the deciding factor. I'm not going to rely on a sign to make a big decision in my life, but I just want kind of this feedback. And you open up that communication. So sometimes people get obsessed with signs and they rely too much on them, and that's them stepping out of their inner guidance system, and they're not trusting themselves. So the first step in this process is becoming aware of your connection. That's probably the most important part, because we always make decisions from in here. We don't make decisions from outside of us. We don't ask other people, and we don't, you can ask God in the universe, but essentially it's going to be you who's going to feel into that decision and know that it feels right. And sometimes we do get feedback from the universe after we've already made the decision, and then it confirms it with a synchronicity or somebody else saying that they just made the same decision, and it's aligned. It feels right. So step 1, become aware of the connection with source, with the universe, with God. Step 2, open up the communication. Ask for signs. Ask for the universe to bring you your desires. And you're literally writing down exactly what you want the universe to bring you in a way that you're already grateful for it. You're saying, I am so grateful now that the universe brought me $50,000 out of thin air and I didn't have to work for it. It came so quickly, it was laughable. Okay, you're opening up this communication. You're saying, I'm open to however you want to bring it. Step 3 is knowing that you're worthy of receiving whatever you're asking for. And this is a big one because this is deep in your nervous system. Our belief systems are like 80% of our day. We are acting from our subconscious back here 80%, maybe even 90% of the day. So whatever you're choosing to believe, I am abundant, or, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to pay my bills. Those two things are belief systems. One person believes that they're abundant. The other person believes they won't be able to pay their bills. Each person is going to act from that belief. So the person who doesn't believe they can pay their bills, they're going to be looking for confirmation all day long to prove that. They're going to say, see, I can't even afford this, or see, I just lost this money, or see, I just got this big bill that came in. And their brain is constantly looking for confirmation that that is true. So whatever they're thinking about, they're pressing a button on in the now moment to create more of in the future, which is not good. So we have to get to the root of, what do you believe to be true about yourself? Do you believe that you're worthy of receiving money? Do you believe that you're worthy of receiving a better partner? If you don't believe it, you're going to spend every single day proving that to be true. If you wake up and you are the abundant person, you're going to be looking for dimes on the ground. You're going to be looking for extra money. You're going to be thinking, ooh, is this person going to pay for my coffee? Ooh, am I going to get a gift card here? You're constantly in possibility. Okay, so the person with the positive belief system, they're in possibility all day long. The person who is in a negative belief system, they're in fear and worry all day long. And remember, whatever we are thinking about in the present moment, which goes back to step number one, becoming aware of your connection and opening up your communication. If you are not aware of what you're thinking about and the ego and the stories it's telling you and the old belief systems, you're not going to be able to manifest what you want to manifest because you have this internal blockage and you're acting from a space of, I don't think it'll happen. So you have to be mindful in the moment to not press a button on the negativity. You have to change your belief systems. You have to know that you're worthy. And being worthy means it's a belief. Am I worthy? Yes or no? Some people think they are, some people don't. People that self-sabotage, people that abuse themselves through their habits, and they don't want to take themselves to fun places or do fun things because they don't think they deserve it, that person is now going to receive negative things all day long because they're looking for it. They're pressing a button on it. And the universe is like, all right, let's roll out this red carpet, which is not going to be a fun carpet to walk on. And you're going to get all these little hiccups along your road, a lot of things breaking down, struggles at home, struggles with money, because your subconscious mind is looking for it. So, to change your beliefs, you first have to identify what you are telling yourself. So, in a moment of fear and worry, I need you to write down, what are you telling yourself? Oh my gosh, I am telling myself that money doesn't come to me easily because my parents grew up saying that and I inherited that from them. So, how do I want to change it now? Money comes to me easily and effortlessly without me having to do anything. I'm going to plant that seed in my subconscious every single day. Maybe I'm going to write it on a piece of paper on my refrigerator. Maybe I'm going to write it on my bathroom mirror. You're going to have it visible so you can rewire that subconscious. Okay. So knowing you're worthy means identifying your belief systems and then changing them if they're not good. Number 4, be open to things arriving in unique ways. Okay, so you might be asking for $2,000, right? And you want to take this trip to the beach. You want to use the $2,000 for a beach trip. The universe might bring you somebody coming into your life saying, hey, yeah, you can go use my beach house. And you get there, and this beach house is gorgeous, and it probably would cost $2,000 for just to rent it for a week. And here you are with a free stay at a beach house, and you didn't even have to deal with the money, which is even better. So the universe brought you something so amazing that's worth $2,000. Your mind was thinking you needed the cash or the check or the Venmo, whatever it is. You're thinking like too much with your brain logically, like, oh, I thought I was going to get it handed to me. But the universe brings it in unique ways, and it's always better than we could have done for ourselves. It's always better. Everything I've ever gotten was always better. And we have to be open to that. And there's so many other little scenarios about how things come in. So we have to be yes guys and yes girls when the universe brings something new into our life, into our reality, and it kind of doesn't look like our manifestation, but it might be. We have to explore it and we have to say, okay, I have to see where this is taking me. I wonder where this is leading me. I'm being asked to go to lunch with a friend. Who knows what we'll talk about? And for me, I'll give you guys a quick example. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm Reiki level 2 certified. And about a year and a half ago, I was doing Reiki in my home, out of my home. I have a massage table. I was also doing travel Reiki. I was going to people's homes, setting up there in their own sacred space. But I was kind of feeling like there was a lot of energy coming into my house that I didn't want in my house. So I didn't want to be doing spiritual work in my house. With other people. So I'm like, I need a space. So I kept imagining a door with a chalkboard, and it was like on the chalkboard, it would say, shh, in session. And I have like a little paper that I would put outside my front door so nobody would knock on my door when I was in session here. But I had a quick vision of a chalkboard on the outside of the door. Well, one day I was curling my hair and I had this idea to text one of my clients who's now my friend. And she was going through a job transition, or she was returning back to work after a leave of absence. And I just happened to text her. I was like, hey, how are you? What are you up to? And she's like, oh my God, do you want to do lunch? I was like, yeah, sure. So random, right? Like she asked to do lunch, or maybe I did. I don't remember. We go to lunch, and when we're at lunch, she mentions this place that a bunch of psychic mediums work at and Reiki practitioners. And she's like, Michelle, you should totally work there. And I was like, girl, I was like, I literally have been manifesting a place for myself. I was like, I can't believe you just said that right now. So I screenshot the place on Google, came home, my hand was shaking. I called the place, and my hand shaking means I was nervous and I had fear, which means we follow that feeling and we do it anyway. And I called. 7 days later, I have a space. And it was like $150 per month for the room. And it's my own room. I can use it anytime I want. I share it with two other people. And it's awesome. Like, it happened so quickly. So that came in such a unique way. I thought I was going to have to go out and search to rent a space of my own, but I didn't know that there were already these places in place. And this room just happened to open up out of nowhere. And it's on the 3rd floor. It's quiet. It's perfect. And you guys, guess what the cherry on top is? When I went to go visit the space, this was confirmation from the universe. Guess what was on the door? A little chalkboard, and it says "in session." I shit you not. It was insane. It was exactly what I had thought about. And I was like, oh my gosh, I envisioned this and it came to life. But it came to life because I followed the intuitive nudge to call my friend. She asked us to go to lunch. I took action and I went to lunch. And then she brought it up. I made the phone call. So there was a lot of action in there. Okay. So sometimes it comes in different ways, and we have to be yes guys and yes girls. All right. And the last one, number 5, is we have to align to the frequency of love. And this is ultimately getting on the dance floor. So step 1, we become aware of our connection. We're like, wow, ooh, we can like connect back to ourselves. We can listen to our thoughts and we can choose different ones. We can control our moods and our emotions. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Life is so much better. Then we open up the communication and we start talking to the universe, and we start journaling and we start manifesting and asking it for things. Then we know we're worthy and we're changing our belief systems. We're believing that what we ask for is going to come, and that we're allowed to have good things no matter what happened to us in the past. It's over with. Your past decisions are behind you. Do not take that old trailer with you. I always say there's a trailer attached to your car, and that's your past. You got to get out of your car and unhook it. You're not taking it with you, because that trailer is filled with negative belief systems. Okay. So now we know that we're worthy. We're open to the manifestation coming in all different ways. We're being yes guys and yes girls. And now we get on the dance floor. We just feel good. We raise our vibe and our frequency. So this is daily vibrational work. This number 5, getting on the frequency of love, it's daily work. You have to choose the lightest feeling in your body in every single moment. You know, you're in your house and you're like, what do I want to do right now? Do I want to go to Target? Do I want to get this project done? Do I want to do a load of laundry? Do I want to take a nap? Whatever gives you that light feeling, like, relief, this feels good, that's what you do. Even if it's resting for 4 days in a row, if that feels good to you, you have to do it, because your vibration is showing you what it's preparing you for. And a lot of times a big manifestation will come in when you rest. So if your body is communicating to you with the lightest feeling to choose something that doesn't make sense, choose it anyway. Follow your body. Go take that yoga class. Go to that sauna. Do a water fast. Do a juice fast. Do something that you're feeling the call to do, even though it's not something that you would normally do. You're like, this doesn't make any sense, but it feels good. Okay. Or it could be eating those Oreos or going to get that pint of ice cream, whatever feels good for you. But in the end, if it's going to lower your vibration, then don't do it. Okay. So you have to choose and balance the good with the bad. The lightest feeling in your body is going to feel like relief. It's going to feel like joy. It's going to feel like excitement. And most of the time, people ignore the signs to rest. That's always the joyful relief feeling. And most people won't rest because their ego, because they're not connected to themselves. Step number 1, they're not tapped in, and they're listening to their ego, who's in the future, who's in the past, trying to figure out their life, trying to grab the wheel. And instead, if they would just pause, drop everything, and take a nap for an hour, that resistance and that voice would go away. They would wake up, their energy would feel refreshed and good. And then they could get some downloads and some information and some inspired action to call a friend, to go to a new place, or maybe to start that website they've been wanting to start. So when you shut down your system and you rest, you get more from that, because you're finally in a relaxed space for the universe and your inner guidance system to talk to you. So getting on the dance floor and dancing with the universe is huge. It is the best way to live life because it's healthy. You're taking care of your vibration, you're resting, you're taking care of your mind space, you're not overthinking, you're not in anxiety, you're having fun with the signs and the synchronicities. It's the best way to live life. You feel grounded, you feel connected to something, you know your thoughts and you're feeling so well. And you're no longer a victim of your reality because you're the one pressing a button on it every single day. All right, lovies, I hope you enjoyed these steps. They changed my life, and I teach these often in public settings, or if I'm at a speaking event, I go to this list all the time. So I hope you enjoyed them. Write them down, and remember, keep doing them every single day. It's cyclical. The more you make this a habit, the happier life you're going to live, and the more magical life. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, everything's in the description box below. I would love to meet with you on Zoom and connect. All right, have a lovely day. Peace out.